One. Hey, everybody. We had a crazy week in our world. Lots of things to talk about. And we have another TweetCap to take care of your wonders on what was going on in this funny place we call planet Earth. What's going on? Ryan Page is with us. Jose's at Disney World, being a Disney adult, but there's nothing wrong with that. What's going on, Ryan?
Not too much. Wow, you just went right out there, huh? All right, that's fine. Well, he'll be back to defend himself next week.
I will specifically look for a Disney adult story. Again, I said nothing wrong with it. It is a fad, and it's just a fad that I wonder about. And I'll find a relevant story to discuss it and hear his side of the story. Again, I want to make clear nothing wrong with it. I'm just trying to understand. And that's
Have a
that.
productive conversation about Disney adulting.
That's what I'm saying. We try to figure out the Taylor Swift, the fads. We try to figure out a million things throughout the years, and Disney Adult is another one. And hopefully Jose will discuss that. When he said Florida, I thought he was going to Miami or Boca Raton or, um, like maybe he's going to maybe he's going up north to do something or a
Sunny
party.
Orlando, sunny
But
Orlando,
he's in Orlando hanging out with Minnie and Mickey
and Goofy.
and Goofy. So that's nice. I just didn't. I was just surprised. That's all I'm saying. So we just want to wonder what's going on there. But regardless, let's focus on the here and now, and let's talk about the insane week that we just had.
Mm-hmm.
First things first. Something happened that truly was emotional for people. And you know what? This is something that I totally agree with. Rockstar, Rockstar Games. They are arguably one of the most influential video game companies around. Obviously, Bully, Red Dead Redemption, um, Bully, Red Dead Redemption,
Yeah, I
The
mean, I'll be honest with
Warriors.
you. We could push back a little bit on most influential. They have the biggest game of all time, though.
Let's say it, Grand
And
Theft
Grand Theft
Auto.
Auto, yeah.
And guess what happened? The moment we've all been waiting for. Confirmation from Rockstar Games that Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming. And to celebrate their 25th anniversary, the CEO Sam Hauser went on to discuss the accomplishments they made in the past 25 years. And the final tweet that has at this moment over 200 million views on Twitter and X. He said the following that changed the internet literally forever. We are very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. Thank you, Sam Hauser. Thank you to literally Sam Hauser for dropping this wonderful information. And yes, for the first time, we don't know when, but
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
at least
say,
the, I'll let you.
yeah, you seem really, really hype on this, and I'm the opposite way on this. This was an announcement that by the end of December we'll have another announcement
That's how big it is.
about a game we knew was coming. We actually, so I don't know if we ever even went. I know we talked about like what we thought would be in the game at
We
one
did. We
point
talked about the
recently.
leaks. We talked about the
Yeah,
leaks that took
and
place.
there was at one point, I want to say a few weeks back, if we didn't talk about it, a little bit insider here for you. We talked about there was a rumor going around that they were going to announce this 2 months ago or a month ago, whenever it was. We talked about whether we do it, and then it never came out. So we never talked about it. But like, it's not like this game is a surprise. We have been talking about this game for like months now at the bare minimum. People have been talking about it for years. And so the idea that their big announcement was just an announcement that at some other point they're going to announce when the game will be. I was like, why is this so popular? I mean, it's popular because
Because
people
they
want the
know they can
content,
do it.
right? But like,
Rockstar knows they have this ability. And I texted you,
with GTA 6, yeah.
this has to be a troll drop. And in fact, they haven't confirmed if it's GTA 6 technically. They just said Grand Theft Auto. It could be something completely different.
Oh, could you imagine if it's like a DLC for 5 again or something else? Like if they have some sort of
I'm pretty
like
sure it'll
side
be.
game.
I'm pretty sure it'll finally be the true
I
sequel
think it'll be 6, yeah.
to GTA 6. But Rockstar knows that people are they have the whole video game industry and all pop culture at the tip of their fingers. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013, our freshman year of college.
Yeah, I know.
It is 2015. No, it's not. It's 2023.
23. But I said they talked
It's
about
been
25
10
years.
years.
Most of that 25 years was making GTA 5 and re-releasing GTA 5. Most of
And
their
it worked.
accomplishments in the past 25 years was just the one game they kept re-releasing and adding stuff to. Not even GTA Online. Like they didn't even add things to GTA 5. They just added stuff to GTA Online. And so I think they eventually started selling that game separately. You know? But so yeah, I don't know. I wasn't as excited about this as everyone else did, but apparently I'm wrong because everyone, like you said, really liked this information coming
Did
out.
you see the memes? Oh man, like the fact that people were happy that they lived through the chance to see that GTA was getting released. This is a big deal. Can you imagine
Like
the
10
day?
years, right? Yeah.
It's a
Or
10
more
years in
than.
between
Yeah, over 10
games.
years, yeah.
I mean, there was the Red Dead Redemption sequel, which was
Yeah.
great. I actually played it, and it's an amazing game, in fact. But it's
Red
no
Dead's good, yeah.
GTA. GTA, I mean, that's the game, man.
Well, yeah,
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto has an appeal to everybody, which is, I think, what makes it. Well, I say everybody. It's obviously not a children's game, but has an
The
appeal to
children
all.
do definitely get their hands on
Oh,
it and
yeah, of
play it.
course. Yeah, my parents used to make us turn the volume off. That was the compromise. But anyway, so, but that's not what we're talking about. It's got a bit more of an appeal if you're a casual gamer, if you're more of a hardcore gamer. Everyone can kind of pick up GTA. I think Red Dead probably just didn't have, because of the period aspect of it, didn't have that. You know what I mean? Like you kind of had to want to play a cowboy game and be kind of more into the story and into the gaming. Whereas you want to just drive around, do your thing in GTA, you can do that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously big deal for them. I don't know if they'll be able to actually meet the hype when the game comes out, and that
Oh,
could be a real problem for them.
well, meet the hype and actual hype are the two different things. Like, no doubt, this is probably going to be the highest selling game of all time.
Well, yeah, but then they got to meet it, otherwise they'll never do another.
Well, they've had 10 years. They've had 10 years to perfect it. And if
Just
those
saying.
leaks are real, which they neither confirm nor deny,
Return to Vice Cities, the part of the leak. We've
the
talked about
two
this.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we with the details. Two characters. One's a female character.
Yep. All my predictions. So we'll see how it goes, but
It was a big
I
deal.
think I'm
People went
right.
nuts. I said,
I'm
300
right.
million impressions on
I have
X.
to see if they're gonna have some online betting about the that female protagonist thing, because I think I can make some money off that.
Like what exactly? Like what her name's going to be or and
No,
stuff?
I just think that gamers, historically speaking, are a little bit more. That's not something that hardcore gamers would like, I don't think. And so I think that there will be a lot of people out of their own personal animosity who bet against that happening, and it's definitely happening. So, I said I feel like I can make some money if there's like a betting market, like what's that? The one that everyone uses for like non-sports stuff. There's a market out there. But anyway, yeah, I do think that all that stuff that we talked about last time is going to happen, but we didn't learn any of that from this 200 million time viewed tweet they sent out. So,
And it was the end of a thread too.
yeah, well, yeah, it wasn't even like the whole thread either. It was the patting himself on the back thread, and then and by the way, we'll have a trailer for you to watch about a game coming soon.
That's a guaranteed TweetCap story.
Oh, absolutely. And when the game comes out, let's go. We never did Starfield, and that just shows you. No offense to Bethesda, another big studio. You're not Rockstar, because we'll probably for sure play
It really is
GTA when it comes out and talk about it on this show.
It really is funny with Rockstar. They really are known for only 2 franchises.
Yeah, well, because Bully was when we were kids. Bully came
and
out
that's
in like
an amazing game.
Yeah, it is, but it's like 2004, right?
Yeah,
like
I'm looking right here. I'm just quickly
like
going through their video gamography. List of video games published by Rockstar.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's Bully came out in 06, October 17th of 06. And they also did the Midnight Club series.
Okay. That's still not
Obviously
as big as
GTA.
the other ones. Yeah.
A lot of
Um,
movie adaptations. The Warriors, the game is amazing.
is it? I've never
Oh, and
played
how
that.
can I forget LA Noir?
Oh,
Another one.
I really did like that game, but that game didn't do as well as they wanted it to do. I don't think.
Yeah, it
I love
was.
that game. I own that game first. I had it, and then I have it now. I have it for Switch. I've never finished it on Switch, but I actually bought
Mm.
it twice. I own the game twice. So I love that game. I'm not criticizing that game at all, but it's not a franchise game. You buy the game, you play the game, and then you're done. You don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Looking at this, there's a lot of video game adaptations and a lot of re-releases and sequels. They're just like any other major studio, but they are the studio.
yeah,
Grand Theft Auto. Like people love their characters, and that's how you know.
yeah. I mean, I do wonder about that because, no offense, I can do it, but can everyone name the protagonists of Grand Theft Auto of
Up
all of
at
them?
like you could do there's CJ San Andreas,
Mm-hmm.
there's Nico in GTA 4.
Yeah.
There's I can't name the Vice City and Grand Theft Auto 3 ones. Obviously,
Tommy is Vice City. Um is it Jean? Something like that?
for this is for the third one.
Or Claude. It's Claude. The first time they're in Liberty City. I think it's Claude. Um and then
Yeah,
obviously
Claude.
the most recent one is what? Trevor, Franklin, and Michael. All right, so
Yes.
maybe I don't know.
I
I'd be curious if people like really feel connected to the protagonists of Grand Theft Auto.
really think there was a time where there'll be a lot of man on the street content for this podcast when there's a legitimate studio, hopefully in a big market metropolitan area, and we can ask that very question to people on the streets.
Can
And
you
hopefully,
name
probably knowing them,
five?
let's make the prediction now. When do you actually think they'll release the actual game?
2024, probably Christmas.
24 holiday. So
I think
as they
we're gonna
say,
get a
quarter
trailer.
four.
Yeah, we're gonna get a trailer this year, and then next year around the same time we get the trailer, we'll get the game.
Do you remember when the GTA 5 trailer came out?
It was spring. The trailer, I don't know, but the game came out in springtime.
Okay, so on YouTube it was released on on November no, okay, it is actually crazy. So the GTA original trailer, like a teaser trailer, was released in November of 2011. The game itself for Grand Theft Auto
GTA
5,
5,
yes, Grand Theft Auto 5.
2013, like springtime.
GTA 5 was released, I will confirm. GTA 5 was released on September 17th, 2013. And they
September,
released
really?
yes, and they
Okay.
released their teaser trailer on November 2nd, 2011, almost 2 full years before that.
But I don't think there was 10 years in between. You know what I mean? Like I feel like because of those 10 years, they have a little bit. Well, a year is probably sufficient to hype the game.
Right. GTA 4 came out in 08 and they came out in 05. They came out 5 years later. So, yeah, and the official trailer came out in August 29th, 2013, just a few weeks before this trailer. So again, we just have to see what exactly they're going to do. And what the trailer is, it going to be a trailer or is it going to be a teaser? Like they just have the
Teaser,
main
teaser.
character looking at Vice City, like,
Not
oh
even.
my god.
We're not going to even see the main character. We're going to see just a lot of shots of the newly designed Vice City, and then maybe if they're doing the female thing, they'll end it with like a female character shot, and that will be their way of breaking that news a year in advance, so they can spend a year trying to make the gamers who are going to be disappointed that there's a female protagonist, of which there will be too many.
Man, those people suck.
Yeah, but they're going to try and spend the year getting those people hyped for the game by getting the news they know they're going to hate out early and to
Right.
let the anger go away.
And you noobs.
But yeah, I think that mostly it's just going to be pictures of Vice City, of like of the city.
Probably like one song that becomes a huge hit on Spotify,
Sure, or it'll become a TikTok song like
or like maybe there's a
like
classic
Total Eclipse
song.
of the Heart.
Yeah, and we don't know what time period this will actually take place. I assume it'd be present day.
I think at least most of the game would be somewhat present, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I said this when we did our predictions a long time ago. I think that some of the game will take place in I'll say Cuba. I don't know if they'll call it Cuba. It'll be something akin to Cuba. It'll be an
Yeah.
island like Cuba. I think that will be a part of this game. One, because they've done the island for GTA Online, right? For one of the new things that you could go to an island and it's a whole thing that you could do a bunch of missions there. So they've already kind of practiced with it. They might even use that island. I don't know. But they'll definitely have they'll have that, and that might take place at a previous time. I also think they're probably, this is me guessing, because Rockstar wants to make as much money as possible with as few games as possible.
Clearly.
And clearly that's their strategy. And so I could see them creating a battle royale game as part
Mhm.
of an online battle royale game as part of this, and having an island would be like a proper island, not the entire map of GTA Vice City, but like a proper smaller island map that you could do a game mode like that. I think would be helpful, and so I think that that's another reason why they might consider that. And so I don't know. I don't even think that, honestly, if it's a teaser, I don't even think we'll see that. We'll literally just see, they'll probably just show Vice City, the recognizable stuff like the mall and stuff from the
Mhm.
last time the game was there, so that way we can see how good the graphics are, right? Now,
And how
and
good can
see how it's
graphics really get at
changed.
this point? They pretty
Well,
much
because
got
last
as.
time we were in Vice City, though, it was a long time
Oh
ago.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
In
it's gonna
that
be
sense.
way better. Hopefully it doesn't look too much like that's the only real issue, is that, I mean, because obviously they're all based on real cities. Los Santos is Los Angeles, and
Liberty
then
City's New York.
Liberty City's New York, and Vice City's Miami. And just because they're both kind of tropical locations, not tropical, but they have the same
Yeah.
kind of look, Miami and Los Santos, I would worry that they might look too similar and people would be kind of underwhelmed. And that would be the only reason why they might genuinely trick all of us and not put it in Vice City this time. They'll go back to Liberty City or a brand new map that's a little bit more quote unquote New York. Basically, they'll something that looks a little bit more big city, a little bit more East Coast or something like that. I could see it. Chicago. They don't have a Chicago stand-in, I don't think. So who knows? But
Yeah. Who knows? And they had like in GTA San Andreas, they had a little Vegas area too. So maybe
yeah,
they
that's
add
the
to
only
that.
game where they had multiple states or multiple cities in the state or whatever, and they've never done that again. They could try something like that too.
We'll see. We'll see. And man, just quickly, with that leak happened a year ago, September
Yeah,
18th,
the leak
2022.
happened a year ago. Yeah.
And they confer, and I don't have enough time to skip through the whole thing, uh but pretty much there it seemed like there was a young teen, it seemed like there was a foreign young Gen Z, if I'm
Yep.
reading this correctly, like a 16-year-old tuber hacker. He got arrested in London as part of the investigation, and it was a whole world ordeal. But the kid was actually deemed unfit to stand on trial, but he did
Interesting.
admit
To
to.
doing it, yeah.
So regardless, I bring it up that it's turned into this whole ordeal, this game, and probably they said this was a reason why they even pushed it back more, was this leak. But
With the
at
leak, yeah,
least
this.
at least what we're seeing is that um that was the real tease, I guess, and we'll see how
Yeah.
much they improved on it,
Yeah.
if anything. And last but not least, how does this affect the actual hardware market? Like, do you think P PlayStation 5s, no, what are we, which one are we on
For PlayStation, I don't even
for new
know. I don't
generation?
have
Because
one, but I
I
have
have a
Series
PlayStation
X
4.
Xbox.
So you have the Xbox Series X and then a PlayStation 5, like those are gonna skyrocket. Do you think these are
Let me
gonna
see.
now go crazy? I remember when they first went out, people weren't able to get their hands on them. Like these are the hardware, like
So,
PlayStation and Xbox have to be high fiving each other. It's like, man, we're about to make some serious bank, guys.
yeah, I mean, I don't know when the next ones are coming out, but I did just pull it up. The ones that came out in 2020 were the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, which is, I have S, by the way, not X. And then the Nintendo Switch came out around the same time.
Nintendo Switch is just like, we have a new Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, I have the S. Anyway, not the point. Point is that these consoles are only 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I
And
feel
they're
like
women waiting for their real marquee games.
I don't think they're waiting. I think they've all had real marquee games, but I just don't know if they have enough time like to develop a brand new
Oh, you think they
console.
would? You think they would make a whole new console for this one game?
I think that if they did, it would sell really well. PlayStation 4 came out, by the way, in 2013. And let me just check because why not? Xbox One was also 2013. So 2013 to 2020 was the last gap. This would be a crazy, crazy turnaround to try and match it with this game. But I mean, last time they came out around the same time was kind of my point. When the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came out, they came
Mm-hmm.
out with GTA 5. And it was a huge deal. People bought both. And so they might try to match it up with Rockstar's release date. It's like not unheard of that they might consider doing that. It's just I feel like it would be such a quick turnaround that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they would I don't know that they've made enough money, as crazy as this is to say, on the 5 and the S/X to to justify moving on to a new console already.
Right.
But we'll see.
So I guess once they release this, they'll take a 15-year break, and Rockstar doesn't even have to do anything.
Maybe
They
they'll
do.
dissolve. Maybe they'll go away. This is their last game.
Oh man, that
They'll
would.
just
I mean,
keep a
talk about being on top, ending on top,
yeah.
but
They'll just keep a skeleton crew to keep GTA Online going.
just do a new bully or whatever. But
Could you
regardless,
imagine? Yeah.
well, I don't think that exactly ages well, but I know what you
You could
mean.
redo Bully. You could make
Well, yeah,
Bully good.
he's just a Robin Hood. He beats up the bullies, so
Yeah, you could find a way to make that good. I don't think Rockstar has any interest in doing that.
they
They've
would have
got their
done it
cash.
already.
Yeah, they got their cash cow. They don't need to revive the Bully. They probably won't make another Red Dead. They'll probably just keep pumping out new content for 5 and 6 until everyone working there is, on their private island somewhere off the coast of Vice City.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Exciting stuff from the video game industry. Now let's talk about this. The infamous Bad Baby, right? We saw
Yes.
her rise to fame going on Dr. Phil,
To
Cash Me
catch her
Outside,
outside. Yep.
and clearly showing she's out there. Now, Bad Baby was trying to make us all feel bad, and she posted her her revenue she made on OnlyFans. And I mean, let's look at some of these numbers. Bad Baby, who's only 20 years old, by the way. So
Mm-hmm.
this was released in 2021, some of these numbers. So, ugh. But if you know what I mean.
Yep. No, we're real close to when this would be,
Yeah,
very
we're
much
with
illegal.
very much the line, but
Yeah.
look at these numbers, Ryan. So in April 2021, she claims from the screenshot from this monthly statement that she made $18 million, 18,148,436 to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
$6 million in May 2022. June 2021, $4 million. She had a bit of a slow period in November 2021, 833,000. But I mean, come on.
Is she back up
Is she back
now?
up? Like, is she like, what do you mean?
Are the numbers back to 18 mil?
I haven't seen those. I have them from 2021 here, but I mean,
I think it's
do you think
important.
it's real? First of
No,
things, did she
I
make
don't.
$18 million on OnlyFans?
So first, let me say, if it's real, we'll get to whether or not it's real in a second. If it's real, I think it's really bad for everyone who subscribed to her OnlyFans to recognize that she made more money the closer she was to being a child. I think it's just something that we should all think about and not put away, and just cry tonight before you go to bed about that information. Now, whether or not I think it's real, I want to say no. Mostly for me, I want to say no. But what else has she been doing?
She's technically a rapper.
Sure, but I mean, come on.
Who's
You know what I mean? What has
going
she
to a
been
Bad
doing?
Baby concert?
Yeah, what has she been doing for money? No one can answer that question. Like she's not on TV shows. She's not doing the regular circuit of like reality stars, right? You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen her on The Masked Singer. She's not on like Celebrity Big Brother or whatever. She's not, she hasn't been back on daytime talk shows or late night talk shows or any
Mm-hmm.
kind of talk shows. She's not around at all. She has no presence on TV any longer. But she still presumably has, she's not probably working as like an insurance agent. So she's presumably making money in entertainment somehow, right?
Yeah.
And so when you hear about when you think about it that way, assuming she's making as much money as she claims to make in the rap songs, it's probably true to some extent. Maybe the numbers are fudged a little, but she probably is making, her entire living on OnlyFans. I don't know what kind of content she does. I've
Th-
never seen, but
that 18 million alone will set you for life.
I mean, if you spend it correctly, I don't necessarily know that I believe that Bhad Bhabie is the most fiscally responsible celebrity out there. But yeah, you could make 18 million in 1 year and then be done. I mean, not for her. She would be like 18, so that'd be $1 million like for every year she had been alive,
Oh,
and that's not enough money for like retirement by any stretch of the imagination. 18. I mean, I guess technically you could go pretty far with it if you're willing to live a completely modest life. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like you want to live like that normal life, rent an apartment in a, like a suburb area for a while, then yeah, you can take 18 million and stretch it. But you're not buying a house and like never working again off of
A-
$18 million. So
And she did add a lot more. 4 million one month, 2
oh yeah,
million the
yeah,
next
yeah. But I'm
month, and
just
all
saying
that.
in general, like she's probably still working. And since I don't see her anywhere, it's probably on OnlyFans. I think as much as I want to believe it's not true, I think the facts kind of line up that it might be the case.
Might be. And that's this mystery right here that
Well, the
I don't know
mystery
for
is
only
who's paying to
I
for
don't want to
Bad
know.
Baby. Like she wasn't.
Stand-up citizens? Probably not.
I don't know. It's just very strange. Why? And this is not just her. There's so many of these folks who go from something like online to being OnlyFans people, and like the pipeline from like internet celebrity to OnlyFans. Is it just because everyone has, googly bits, and so anyone can
Yeah,
probably do an only that's
probably.
it? Like,
If you're a
because it's guy
if
like the
you're a
Island
famous
Boys have one
woman,
too. No, but the Island Boys
oh,
have
oh,
one too.
oh.
No,
I mean, not to
seriously.
like I said, not to make it's not to make it a gender thing, but I'm just like, you know how horny men are in this world, and if you're a
Oh,
famous woman,
there might be men doing, it might be men like the Island Boys. I'm
well,
not
that's
saying
true.
anything
That's
about
true
who's
too.
watching.
That's true too. To
I'm
be
just
fair,
saying there's
Eric
a
Andre had an
strange.
OnlyFans, and Bert Kreischer had an OnlyFans.
It's just like well, those were clearly jokes though, right? Like that was
I
meant to
think
be funny. Neither one
they're
of them has
supposed to
like,
be, yeah.
yeah. So, but I
Maybe
just
they got
think that
a little into it too much. I wouldn't be surprised.
but just in general, like it's just I guess it must be because everyone feels like they have the equipment already, so they might as well do an OnlyFans. But it's just very strange
The
that the
Island Boys.
pipeline,
Oh my god.
the to go from like, internet star like Bad Baby to OnlyFans is just very strange. But it seems to be a common move. It seems to be like as soon as your 15 minutes ends
Oh, this is gonna
from
relate
like,
to our next story.
yeah, from 50, yeah, well, as soon as your 15 minutes ends from being like an internet star, you just jump straight into OnlyFans.
This is how I
Try and
stay
take as
relevant
many of
and make
those.
some money.
Yeah,
Oh,
try
we
and
had an
take as
OnlyFans
many of
story
those people.
yesterday,
Yeah,
last week.
trying to take as many people from your current popularity with you as you can. And I think it's a good strategy because if you've paid for an OnlyFans, like you're so deep in now, you can't admit you made a mistake. You gotta just pay up. You can't be like, I know I got an OnlyFans for Bad Baby, but only because I really liked her on Dr. Phil. Like you gotta just bite your tongue, keep paying. It's like holding them hostage because they would have to admit that they made a mistake by getting your OnlyFans. I find it very interesting.
Or WWE Mandy Rose, right? She
Well,
was another
that's
one.
different. In that she
She
was
didn't.
doing both.
Oh,
So she started it while she was on TV. They
well,
fired her for it,
she
but
knew what she was doing.
yeah, when she was making more. on it was fan time, not OnlyFans, but the same concept. She's making more on fan time than she was in her WWE
Fan time.
contract.
Fan
And
time.
so
Coke and
when they
Pepsi.
so when they were like, well, you have to stop doing that, she's like, only if you'll pay me more. And obviously they weren't going to do that. So she's like, well, this is simple math. I've been doing this at the same time for however many years, right? Like, I think it was a year.
Yeah.
She did both for a year. So it
Oh,
was like you could literally look at the numbers, be like, I made this much here, I made this much here. If I have to give up one of them, you know what I mean? So I don't actually blame her, and I don't blame these other people for jumping in to make their money. I just
of
find it
course.
interesting.
If I had the ability, you know,
If I
you
thought
gotta
I could make, yeah, if I was an internet celebrity and I thought I could make money on OnlyFans, I probably would. If I thought people would listen to this podcast on OnlyFans, we'd probably be on OnlyFans. So I'm not at all
Chad
critiquing. Yeah.
Johnson, our favorite podcast, one of our new favorite podcasters, he said he was on OnlyFans but he said he played video games on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Yeah. If I thought that I could make money doing anything on OnlyFans, that would not, get me in trouble. I would make one. Like, I would put this show on OnlyFans if there was, if people were willing to pay for it.
Oh
100%.
man, we
100%.
gotta get Chad Johnson on the show. I really think if I tweeted at him, you see his interactions with people.
I
There's
don't
a
know if
good
he'd
chance we
come
could make
on,
it work. No, you'd
but
be surprised. Somebody tweeted
okay.
him, "Yo, Chad, you want to get some lunch? Yeah, where are you at? I'm at this restaurant."
We got to let him know we can't pay him up front, though. We don't want any surprises. Be like, it's going to be for free, but it'll be a fun time.
I really think so. I think he would think so too. Man, that guy's awesome. And Shannon Sharp. All right. Why don't we continue next? This might be the end of an era for this podcast. This person has been a favorite
Oh, yeah.
all year long for this show, but all good things must come to an end. And this is a story I low-key was dreading to talk about in the sense that I knew I don't have a reason to bring her up anymore, but this is the case. Part of my take, another huge favorite of ours, love Part of My Take. They got one of the biggest interviews of the year. Not 60 Minutes, not Oprah, not Dateline, not CBS Sunday Morning. Part of My Take got the interview we've been waiting for. Tiffany Gomas told her side of the story on Part of My Take last week. And their brand new Chicago studios, Tiffany Gomas told us what exactly happened on that airplane. So this story here from the New York Post. The 38-year-old Texas marketing guru discussed the bizarre July 2nd incident that during an interview on Friday with Part of My Take. By the way, this was last Friday. She said, quote, "The reason I probably haven't come out yet is that it's so cringe," she said in studio. Gomas explained she had gotten into a little bit of an altercation with another passenger that spiraled out of control. She continued, "It wasn't my best moment. It was actually a horrible moment. Absolutely mortifying. Absolutely horribly mortifying," she added. So she made the comment, and she also added, quote, "They're making me look batshit. And given I did look absolutely crazy. But no, I was in my feels. Needed to get that off. That's literally what it says here. Needed to get that off that. I was highly distressed. Not a good look." So Ryan, according to her, there wasn't no alien. There wasn't some weird creature. She was just really pissed off at somebody and calling somebody not real. It was the person she was mad at. "I'm so mad at you. You're not even a person." That's what she said. Ryan, your thoughts on her side of the story?
Well, first of all, because of your intro to the story, the only thing I could think about was how fun it would be had she gone on CBS Sunday Morning and Jane Pauley had this interview. But but no. I'm gonna say something that people aren't gonna like. Now we've heard this story a lot this year. This is just a Karen. This is a Karen story. Everyone's gonna give this a pass because what she looks like in terms of attractiveness, but also because it was such a big deal. And she went to Barstool, and Barstool is very deferential. They told her that she was vindicated 400 times. I don't understand that, what that means, but okay. No, she's just a Karen. she got mad at another passenger. In fairness, I don't know if that passenger was of a different race than her, which is kind of a hallmark of the Karen trope. So maybe that's different. But she got mad at a passenger, and then she had a public meltdown that ended up on the internet. That is 100% a Karen video by any other name. If this happened in any other context with any other person, if I just described a white woman freaked out in public and got kicked off of an airplane and it went viral, everyone would say, oh, that's a Karen. But just because she's attractive and because for a little bit we thought it might be aliens, we're all going to pretend that, oh, she was just having a bad day. No, this is just a Karen. This is Karen entitlement nonsense. And people need to start calling it what it is. I mean, I'm glad she's turned this into something. I'm glad that, she probably doesn't have to work in marketing anymore. She can just do appearances or whatever. But like, why are we pretending that this isn't just the same story? Like, this is the same story as like the lady who freaked out because someone was selling water. This is the same story as that person who freaked out because someone took her bike, right? Like, this is just that story, but on an airplane. And for some reason, not for some reason, because of how crazy it seemed, because it was so much crazier than those other two stories, by the way, she's like, they're trying to make me look insane. I'm glad she owned up to it right after saying that, because my first thought was, no, it wasn't really hard to do. No one had to try to make you look insane. You just did that. No one forced it upon you. You stood up and you made yourself look insane all on your own. But no, I think that it's crazy that we're just not calling this what it is. But yeah, here's your headline. Tiffany Gomas is a Karen. That was a Karen move. She did a Karen thing on the plane. Tiffany's a Karen.
It's only because she's one of the most beautiful people in the world that she doesn't have that distinction.
I guess.
Simple as that.
I guess.
Like, if she looked like, I don't know, if she looked like I can't say. If she just looked like, the Wicked Witch of the West, then that's a Karen
people
moment.
find her attractive, and so people are willing to give. What you're trying to say is people find her attractive and are willing to give her, a break.
Exactly.
But it's like was it that pretty
what she did was
that
horrible.
TikTok?
She really made people believe.
Yeah, I guess horrible is a way. I don't want to say horrible. She didn't like hurt somebody.
Fair.
But
yes, it wasn't horrible, but
I mean, it was bad because everyone
didn't
had to get
she
off the
technically
plane.
break some laws doing
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This is again, I'm saying this is a Karen moment for sure. And we're just not going to call it that. Tiffany Karen Gomas is going to get away with this scot-free. So there you go.
And it's just so funny because she is beautiful, and the people are joking about how, Hank she takes a picture with the famous Hank producer of Barstool. Oh, they must be dating. And
maybe.
And or they're had a night in Chicago, or I thought it was PFT commentator. I thought they had the shot of her looking at him and smiling. I thought, maybe they are hitting it off. But that's also, why are we assuming they're dating too? They're just regular people.
Yeah, it's not her fault.
Did I show you? Did I send you the clip of him getting asked by Portnoy?
Yeah.
I did send you that. He just said,
yes.
So you guys are dating?
They're still talking.
Oh, they're talking,
right? So they said they're still talking. So, I mean, they've clearly become good friends.
Hank's only 2 years older than us, so that's I didn't know she was 38. That's 38. So good for you, Hank. Good for you if this is true.
I don't know, Matt. She went insane.
I wouldn't care.
Some people would.
I don't care what that says about me as a dude. But
people wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh man, and I have to say, because you mentioned it, imagine if she was the one who decided to join OnlyFans. That would break the internet.
Honestly,
you want to take $18 million?
Because her 15 minutes is almost up. She gave away the ghost. There's no alien. There's no monster. And no offense to anyone in the Barstool set, but they're not a big enough celebrity for her to date to become famous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, OnlyFans might have to be the next course if that's. I know. I mean, she's doing like a mindfulness thing, which is a bit funny because she's famous for charitably having a mental episode. But that's fine. People learn and grow. So we'll see how the mindfulness thing takes off. If it takes off and she can do like a mini Goop thing, then maybe she will and won't have to do the OnlyFans and just be a business person who had a viral moment instead of like a celebrity. But yeah, if she's looking to stay in the spotlight, the OnlyFans clock has officially started after that interview. So we'll see what happens.
You've been vindicated.
Vindicated.
They just wanted to sound like Jane Pauley.
Yes. Yeah, that was their Jane Pauley moment.
Tiffany Gomas.
Get the horns to play you out on a
well. I don't know when we're gonna bring her up ever again, Ryan. So to Tiffany Gomas
when she makes her own OnlyFans. But
oh my, that'll be the day. But why don't we talk about sexy and Jason Kelce, right?
Right.
Jason Kelce. He's won a Super
Tiffany
Bowl.
Gomas for women. Perhaps. We don't know.
Jason Kelce. He's a Super Bowl champion, 5-time first-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, 184 games started, 184 games started, 184 games played. This man's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
This man is the best at his position, even still. And as his NFL career might be coming to an end, he's played since 2011.
Games,
so yeah, that's a long time. And he just people thought he was retiring last year, but he did sign a 1-year contract to come back, and it's looking like it's a good deal because the Eagles look like the best team in the NFL. But Jason Kelce, man, it wasn't your brother who was nominated as Sexiest Man Alive. It was him. A huge win for podcasters. We could say a podcaster is nominated for Sexiest Man Alive. This list with Timothée Chalamet, Jamie Foxx, the guy who actually won, Patrick Dempsey, good for you. And I forgot who else was nominated, but these A-list actors and musicians, and we have a podcaster right in there. Well, let's go.
I think you're buried the lead. He's a professional football player, but sure, we could go with podcaster. No, I think Swifties eat your heart out.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't your brother.
It wasn't your man. It was his. Was it Big Brother? Yeah, Big Brother.
Yeah, his older brother. Isn't that awesome?
And Jason's not. By the way, he's not like a quarterback or a running back. He's a center.
Yeah,
they're hefty guys. They're not small. You gotta be a little bit bigger to play O-line.
295 pounds.
Yeah, he's not a small guy. He's got a little weight on him. Father, and right?
Father of 3, and found his girlfriend met his girlfriend on Tinder.
There you go.
What a win. This is a great American story.
Yeah, this is a very normal person, with the exception, of course, of the football career. A very normal looking person, I guess is a more accurate way to say that, who lives a relatively normal life out in, wherever Pennsylvania, the middle of Pennsylvania, who got nominated for Sexiest Man Alive. It means anyone can do it. It's like the Pope.
I genuinely believe that.
You just have to get enough people to write your name on a piece of paper.
This is arguably bigger than the actual winner in Patrick Dempsey. He's good. Grey's Anatomy.
But he makes sense, right? He was McDreamy. Like, that was a name people gave him for years. I mean, it's still technically, right?
But yes, but you know what? It was the offensive lineman who's made bigger news in this.
Because it makes very little sense on paper. They don't usually pick people like that. So I think I thought it was good. I'm glad. I think it's a body positivity thing. It's also very funny given how silly famous his brother is right now. That he got the nod.
Yeah, compared.
I don't think nobody would have been surprised if Taylor Swift's boyfriend, and also Hall of Fame football player, by the way, Travis Kelce, got this nod this year because of how famous he's gotten over the past few months. But that it was his brother was just goes from an interesting story to a really funny story, and I think that's why people were so into it when it got announced.
Did you know he plays the baritone saxophone and sings too?
I heard him sing on their podcast.
He's really
something
good.
Else. Yeah, it was something else. It wasn't being too serious. He was singing "Total Eclipse of the Heart," I believe, which again, that song's trending. So maybe that's what it was. He was on top of that trends. He got the algorithm to help him out. Enough people liked and subscribed.
Right.
To their podcast. Who knows?
What a cool thing that happened. Awesome. Congratulations, Jason Kelce. Hopefully we see you on this pod with your brother. Nice little Nice little
A
combo
collab.
one of these days. Yeah, no, seriously. That would be great. And awesome stuff. Jason Kelce. And for somebody who's a Giants fan who does not like the Eagles, I love Jason Kelce and make an exception.
The Kelce's seem like they're good.
See, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl and they have a great chance this
Mhm.
year, it's not the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, it's Jason Kelce winning the
Jason
Super Bowl.
Kelce winning the Super Bowl. That's how we'll justify it. Absolutely.
For sure, for sure. So now there's another thing. Let's continue the more feel good stories. Well, there have been weeks where we just went from sad story to sad story, but we have another one, and this is genuinely awesome. The Screen Actor Guild, the Screen Actors Guild, after 188 days on strike, strikes a deal with the studios valued at $1 billion, a new 3-year deal, and the strike is over. Writer strike ended a few weeks earlier, and everything's back to normal in the film industry. And just going over the new deal, there's a new streaming participation bonus, above pattern minimum compensation increases. So some of the smaller roles get better compensation. Substantial increase for pension and health caps, pay increase for background actors, contract provisions protecting diverse communities, and major provisions for consent and compensation from AI. So this is great. The nanny pulled up. Fran
I'd
Drescher,
say
you got it.
the nanny took care of them kids. That's what she did.
No, she really did. This is probably her legacy. This is it really adds to her legacy. Not only
And
obvious.
I heard she negotiated a nanny reboot as well on
No, wait,
Hulu.
is that
I'm,
true?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding. Could you imagine, like, oh, and Hulu's
oh,
got to give me a nanny reboot?
and
That'd be
they might
very
as
funny.
well.
That'd be funny if that was part of the actual. I mean, she would never get reelected as the SAG president. If even with all the other great stuff she did, if that was just in there, it'd be like, well, you're using this clearly for your own personal benefit. No, that's not true. I was making a joke, but it is true that she did bring home the bacon for the, as it were, for the rest of the Screen Actors Guild. So,
Mhm.
Good honor. Got what they wanted. It sounds like they got what they needed as well.
Right.
And nothing, I mean, that 1 billion obviously as a number is huge. Doesn't sound like any of the actual like demands were that like crazy though. There was a lot of them, so I think that's probably how they got to the 1 billion number. You know what I mean? Adding
Right.
healthcare for all those actors, like yeah, it adds up quickly. But the 1 billion, it's not like
Billy
1
Porter
billion
could
and
get his house again.
yeah, we can give Billy his house back. But no, but no, seriously, it doesn't sound like 1 billion and we're gonna give most of it to like Matt Damon and
Oh,
Leo
yes.
DiCaprio,
Yeah.
right?
No,
I
no.
think you can
They
hear
they
1
have enough.
billion. Yeah, you can hear like 1 billion and be like, oh, we're paying millionaires to be billionaires now. No, it sounds like most of that's gonna be on like paying for people to like see a doctor if they get sick while working on a project, right? Things like that. So I think that's all good. Getting people access to healthcare and getting people access to other resources that they really should have if they're going to be working and providing for people like
Mhm.
actors do, and writers obviously different strike, but writers got their own win as well. So yeah, so I think everything sounded reasonable to me. Not all of it was like I guess super clear. The AI compensation and the
Mhm.
carve outs for diverse communities, they didn't explain what that means. So I guess we'll have to see what that means.
Right.
Obviously, it was good enough that the
Time will
guild was
tell
like,
there.
yeah, the guild thought it was good. So I trust that I trust that they got what they wanted out of it. I just couldn't tell you what those mean, but the rest of it was very clear cut and all stuff that probably should have been happening anyway. So
Yeah. Well, and this year's particularly film, there's a lot of good movies that have come out. I
yeah,
have a lot of catching up to do, and we will for our Oscar season. Ryan, you could join us with the returning Chris Bailey, so you
yeah.
have some movies to watch, and they're all available on streaming too. So we can add to that. So that's a win for the
Well, I
show.
saw
Get Chris
Oppenheimer
Bailey
and
back.
Barbie, and I assume they're both going to get a lot of nominations. That's my hope.
You would
Yeah.
think. But there are also people really into this movie, Past Lives. They really fit. They like obviously Killers of the Flower Moon, the
Yeah,
killer
there's
that
been a
comes out
lot
on
of what's it
Netflix.
called? There's been a lot of stuff going around with the Killers of the Flower Moon, though. So we'll see how much it wins.
Like both good and bad. Like
Yeah,
a
been a lot
controversy.
of Yeah,
Yeah,
controversy. So
polarizing.
yeah,
Definitely very polarizing. Like, seems people love the film, but the historical inaccuracies
yeah.
are
So we'll
bothering
see. We'll
people.
see how well it does nom wise,
Hmm.
because of that specifically.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'll
And
definitely
film
watch that
Twitter is
one. So
loving it. And film Twitter got now they're get so that film Twitter is going crazy because the Oppenheimer reels have been coming out that people have just been touring. So I'm getting scene spoiled. I haven't seen, but
it's good.
those are going around. Like I love film Twitter a lot. They're
Yeah,
breaking down this. I didn't watch the scene because I still have to see the film, but it's just Robert Downey Jr. and Cillian Murphy. I guess must have been when they were their characters were introduced. I'm assuming I didn't. I don't want to see the scene, but I
yeah.
keep seeing that one scene, and everyone's just
By
look
the
at this
lake.
nuanced walk. Look at this
Yeah,
nuanced walk he's doing. He is looking into the camera a certain way. That is exactly how Oppenheimer did it. And yeah,
that's
now
how
now
Oppenheimer looked. That's how Oppenheimer looked at the camera.
now film Twitter's happy, and you don't want to piss them off. So, and then we also have some projects getting announced, and and getting projects getting announced, and apparently some movies getting canceled, like
Yeah.
the Wile E. Coyote versus Roadrunner film with John Cena got shelved
Who
after
is John
filming.
Cena gonna play?
I don't know, it got shelved.
And if it's Roadrunner, that's really funny.
I think he must be playing some middleman in that war
Of
that's been
course, yeah.
going on for 80 years.
But what if it was Roadrunner? What if it was
John
like a
Cena's
well, no?
Roadrunner.
What if it's like a
Then
Vin
that's why it was
Diesel?
probably
What if it's
bad.
like
That's why.
When Vin Diesel was Groot and he just goes, "I am Groot." John Cena's just gonna go meep meep.
Well, he
I'd
had a
watch
film
that.
that released. I got a 0 on tomato, so he's gonna have to make some careful choices.
Yeah,
Man, 0 Rotten Tomatoes. He still hasn't won technically in his WWE return. We're gonna get a John Cena
yeah,
redemption story.
or not. We'll
Mhm.
see.
But good stuff there. Cleopatra was announced. They're gonna do a Cleopatra 2025 with Zendaya as Cleopatra.
Really, that'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
see how they do that. The Elizabeth Taylor 4 hour one, which was a boring movie, so I hope it's not that one. But is that Dennis Villeneuve? Of Dude,
Yeah,
another
Dune.
film Twitter loves Dennis. So you know, that's honestly
Yeah,
that's who you need to impress the most when you release movies now is film
film
Twitter.
Twitter. They're the ones who pick the nominees.
Low key.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. So if they're the ones who
Very strong opinions.
if they're the ones who pick the nominees effectively, then I could see, yeah, Flower Moon doing really well.
And this will be a good transition. Another film that was definitely not supposed to be known to us, but it was. And here it is, Shrek 5. According to this story here, Shrek 5 release date is leaked by an NBC intern since deleted LinkedIn post accidentally revealing the movie is set in 2025. Now this I got a kick out of this. So I've been lucky enough to intern at some very cool places. I interned at Nickelodeon, CNN, Sirius, all that, right? And when I was specifically worked at Nickelodeon, one of the very first things they ever said at our orientation is, you do not talk about work at all on Twitter or any
Yeah.
social media for this very reason.
So
And
you
this,
don't
I
leak
guess,
something by accident. Yeah.
yes. And they will, even if you are an intern, the press will still,
Oh yeah.
flip the story as, this studio announced this, even though it was an intern.
Yep.
So yeah, so I guess this person on LinkedIn posted that she's gonna
She was
work
working
that
on.
she was working on Shrek 5
Probably not anymore.
2025. And yeah, that was a bad leak. First of all, I mean, who was asking for another Shrek? But I guess
So what happened in Shrek 4? They made a Shrek 4?
I stopped at Shrek 3. I said this is
Yeah.
garbage. And there is a Shrek 4 Forever After. And I might as well
Shrek
watch it.
1 is Shrek, obviously. Shrek 2, he
Classic.
meets
One of the best
Fiona's
sequels.
parents, right?
So I could quickly read over Shrek 3, Shrek the trio journey to Worcester Academy. Oh wait. Wow, whoa. Let me actually read this. So Shrek 3, can you remind us what happened in Shrek 3?
No.
Okay.
I
In
don't remember.
Shrek 3, Prince Charming is plotting to overthrow Shrek and Fiona, who have inherit the throne following King Harold's death.
Right.
Shrek has
Which
no
was in
interest.
Shrek 2.
Shrek has no interest in ruling the kingdom and attempts to convince Fiona's unachieving cousin, Artie, played by Justin Timberlake, to take over. Let's assume that they probably did that. It's a children's movie. Happy Ever After, right? And then Shrek 4. Let us look at Shrek 4. Shrek 4. The plot follows Shrek, who struggles with the responsibilities and stress of being a domesticated family man, yearning for the days he was a once feared ogre and lived in solitude. He is tricked by Rumpelstiltskin into signing a contract that leads to disastrous consequences.
You have to give up his
Played
kids?
by Walt Dorn. Okay. Walt
Okay.
Dorn. He
So,
is.
Shrek 4 was just Shrek didn't want kids?
Should I read the end of Shrek 4? What happened? I have the plot
Yeah,
right here.
spoiler alerts if you're listening right now. We're about to spoil Shrek 4, so jump ahead like 2 minutes.
As the sun rises, Shrek begins to fade from existence, but Fiona, having fallen in love with him, kisses him just before he disappears. Seeing that she is still an ogre in the sunlight, Fiona realizes that her curse was broken and that she has assumed love's true form. The alternate reality disintegrates, making everyone disappear, and Shrek finds himself transported back to the original timeline at the moment before he lost his temper at the party. Instead of lashing out, Shrek embraces his family and friends with a newfound appreciation for them.
Wow. Well, so there's some middle stuff that you probably need to watch to understand what we just said.
But it ends with him loving his friends and family a little more.
Yeah,
The consensus for Shrek Forever After is, while not without its moments, Shrek Forever After too often feels like a rote rehearsing. While not without its moments, Shrek Forever After too often feels like a rote rehashing of the franchise's earlier entries.
Yeah, what you just described sounds like the first Shrek. All right. Well, yeah. I can't critique Shrek 4 because I didn't even know it existed. Until they announced that. No, really. I knew I've seen the first two, right? And I knew they made a third one with Justin Timberlake. I knew that. I didn't see that one. I didn't know what happened in it, but I knew it existed, right? So like I knew Shreks 1 through 3, and then they made like 2 or 3 Puss in Boots movies separate. I knew that.
They are really good.
Yeah. But no. So Shrek 5 was big for me because A, new Shrek movie, and B, it let me know there was a Shrek 4. And so yeah, who's asking for a new Shrek? Is it because the Puss in Boots did really well? They're like, let's try Shrek again.
Probably. You know how these studios are now. Now we are back to normal with sequels and unnecessary stuff.
It sucks that the first thing that happens after the strike ends is we get another sequel.
Yeah, right.
First thing we get after the actors come back is the announcement of another sequel. So that stinks. But who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Sometimes when you take an old property that no one cares about, you treat it that way. You treat it as like an old person who no one cares about anymore, like an old celebrity. I don't mean all old people. I mean like, you know what I mean. And then you can do something really fun with that because no one has any
That's what this new Emma Stone movie apparently is that everybody's loving. What's the movie called? Just so I get this right, Poor Things. It's adapted from a children's novel from 1992, and everybody's loving it in film Twitter, so it must be a big deal.
Interesting. Yeah, no, sometimes like, I mean, obviously a hot take, but why not? One in the new series of Star Wars movies that nobody liked at all. I mean, they were all whatever. They were fine for me. I wasn't that down on them, and I actually kind of really liked the one in the middle that everyone hates the most. So I guess 8. No, how many are there? Oh, geez, there's 6 original ones, right? And then Then there's
It go, yeah, just split it
7,
up
8,
into
9.
threes. Yeah.
Yeah, so 8.
The Ryan Johnson one.
Yeah, I actually kind of liked that. Everyone's gonna hate that I'm saying that, but whatever. They
I
can.
mean, the 7th one was just a new hope with new characters.
Right. And 8 was something different. They took old characters that, no offense, we just weren't thinking about anymore. Like, I get longtime fans probably were, but from Luke Skywalker didn't mean anything to the general audiences anymore. Anakin Skywalker barely meant anything to the general audiences, and that was the main character of the newer movies. Like, those movies came out when we were kids, and they're not, and even then, Anakin's not like a cherished childhood character for me. Part of that's because of how unlikable he is. But
yeah.
so, like, no one's thinking about Luke Skywalker all the time. So you have this character that doesn't have the same gravitas as it had before, and so you flip him around. Like we did it with Logan to like really good effect.
And guess what? He's coming back with Deadpool 3.
Which is horrible. But yeah, like when we thought it was actually
But this
done,
is how
it
this
was
is
great.
the twist though. You now get to see him in his original suit.
Yeah.
Which was leaked anyways. So you ruin the surprise. They themselves leaked it.
They don't care about that. They don't care about that. Yeah.
That would have been a cool surprise though. It really would have. But you know what? Nobody deserves happiness, I guess. But regardless, Shrek 5, I assume you're going to, between now and 25, catch up on Peacock?
No, probably not. I'll probably just watch 5 without watching 4. I'll let you know if it makes sense. I'll let you know if it makes sense. If I don't get it, I'll watch 4. And then I'll be, oh, no, I get it. Maybe get a good chuckle at my home when I get a joke I didn't get before. But no, I think I'll probably not watch Shrek 4 for anything.
Let me just say with Poor Things again, so pretty much Oscar season has started, so I'm gonna give all the updates throughout these tweet caps about it.
Yeah.
Poor Things that people are loving. Consensus. Wildly imaginative and exhilarating over the top. Poor Things is a bizarre, brilliant tour de force for director Yorgos Lanthimos and star Emma Stone.
Well,
interested in it?
Yeah, I'll probably watch that. Why not?
So who's in it? Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe. Even though he's in everything, but we don't mind because he's awesome. Rami Youssef, that's cool. Christopher Abbott, Gerard Carmichael, Margaret Qualley, she's great. So awesome cast right here.
Yeah, it's very, very well known, very well accomplished cast. So,
and I know people love Yorgos, from like he did The Favorite, Killing a Sacred Deer, Lobster. Big indie film, just get bigger. And then this Poor Things.
Based on a book too, so there you go.
Did you read Poor Things?
Not read Poor Things.
Heard of it?
Know. No, I don't know what it's about. I know what's it called? That Emma Stone is good in it, and everybody likes the director because that's what you just told me. But I've got no other information about it.
Definitely have to check it out. Now let's talk about Logan Paul.
Let's talk about Logan Paul.
So even though we didn't cover this event,
Matt's new favorite wrestler.
Well, not exactly, but at Crown Jewel, Logan Paul continued his big year by defeating, only one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Second time.
In Rey Mysterio. He defeated Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. Logan Paul is your United States champion. And guess what? In great Logan Paul fashion, he was making sure that everybody knew he was the champ. And he posted some viral pics that just as early as today. So I have right here showing one with his fiance Dylan Dennis is obsessed with. I forgot to bring the iPad. Him just smoking a cigar with it. Him working out with the belt. Him in the shower with the belt. He's
very Shawn Michaels. Very Shawn Michaels, the one with him in the shower. Actually,
he's very proud of this, and rightfully so. But Logan Paul. The thing is, I've been critical about him as a wrestler, but I've come down a little bit because Rey Mysterio almost had a catastrophic neck injury, and he caught him perfectly, and then slammed him down. But great professionalism.
That was on purpose.
But great professionalism, and he is a great wrestler. I never doubted him, never questioned his ability. Just show up, even once every other week. That's all I'm asking.
You don't
But
hold that
good for
standard
him.
for every other people, though. Roman Reigns doesn't do that.
But the thing with Roman Reigns, though, it's a little bit different in the sense that, maybe if let me say, if Roman Reigns flexed as much as he did, I would have the same criticisms.
Gotcha.
But
So it's the brashness mixed with the lack of attendance. I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't think he needs to change
are you
anything
proud
about
of
his
him?
character. What do you mean, like his dad? No.
Yeah. Are you
Uh,
proud of him being the champ?
no, I think it's a good idea. I think that it'll be a really big match at WrestleMania when he drops the title, and I think it
Two,
probably will be WrestleMania.
Jake Paul.
Well, no. I don't know who yet. Worst case scenario, it's your boy, LA Knight.
Oh, that is definitely worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, because that means they have something else planned for the World Heavyweight title. But assuming that I'm right about the World Heavyweight title, I don't know. It's gotta be someone on SmackDown, presumably. I don't know. Let's say it goes to. Nah, we'll have
Bad Bunny. Now,
no.
are we
We'll
gonna
have
get
Carmelo Hayes debut at WrestleMania to win the U.S. title. Why not? Sure, that works.
how about with this, with this win though, do you think he's going to help, like, not that WWE needs it, they definitely don't, but what other things can Logan Paul accomplish if he's about to have a long reign with this title? And will he even defend? How many over under 5 defenses do you think he's going to get? Over under 5 defenses?
Well, under because he's dropping it at WrestleMania. There won't be. There's not 5
That's why you
pay-per-views in
go to
between.
SmackDown in Louisville, Kentucky, or Fargo, North Dakota.
You
And
name
fight
me
for it.
5 times Gunther has defended his title in Fargo, and then you tell me
That's
when
the
you can't.
point. That's
He's
what
not.
the
He
change is going to
hasn't. I'm saying
happen.
he hasn't done that because he's Gunther, and no one. By the way, no one even listening to us knows who Gunther is.
Or
An
how about this? You
unknown
know what, Ryan?
Austrian
I
man
will
has
say
not
this:
defended
if
in
Logan
Fargo. Why
Paul
would
just does,
Logan Paul?
if Logan Paul just does one house show, I will
House
take away the
show.
crow's head. Yeah,
House
he's the
show.
champion.
No.
Oh, he's not worthy enough. He sits
You
in the
might
other.
get him defending the title on TV one week. You're not getting him on a house show.
Even if it's the,
House
like, Madison
show.
Square Garden
No.
holiday tour.
No. If they have a TV show at Madison Square Garden, Logan Paul might wrestle on it.
Well, we won't see that title anytime
House
soon.
show. House show. Freaking Seth Rollins barely wrestles on the house shows.
Oh man, but congratulations, Logan
House shows
Paul.
are headlined by like Chad Gable versus freaking like Giovanni Vinci. That's who does the house shows.
You know what? I want Otis to be the to defeat Logan Paul.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
I simply don't know what the name of the trend is, but assuming it will be popular next week, we'll do a story on it. The one where they have that song.
Oh, where everyone's calm and then
everyone's
they go
calm and
crazy,
then
and then they
dancing.
calm and go crazy. Yeah, I don't know the name of that trend
That
is,
was
but yeah,
WWE.
they did that one.
Did the funniest one with him.
Yes, they did.
So we have to figure out the name, and then we'll definitely do a story on it.
And Tozawa, maybe it'll be Tozawa now that he's getting the push. Tozawa versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. Could you imagine if they get Tozawa ready for a WrestleMania match? That would be absolutely insane. But yes, Logan Paul did really good. Really good work with Rey Mysterio specifically, keeping him safe when that one thing happened. But also, most of the match was good. Like, we make it sound like Rey Mysterio was like fumbling around. That's just not the case. It was a very good match, even outside of that one moment. To which Logan also did very well in the match. Looked great, super fun to watch, and yeah, I think him as champion, it's good. It's going to lead to an LWO dissolution, which I think is probably about time. The LWO has been around a little too long. But Santos Escobar was instrumental in Rey losing the title. So they'll run that with Santos and his crew versus like Rey and Carlito probably for a little bit. Stuff like that. It'll be fun and it'll be all good stuff. And then Logan will just kind of do what he does on, podcasts and go on other people, go on channels and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the title, get some exposure.
I just want to see a Bad Bunny Logan Paul match.
But I don't. I mean, as much as I think Logan Paul is
the internet does.
As much as I think Logan Paul is very good, I don't know if he's good enough to carry Bad Bunny for a good match. And I do think that we keep forgetting because of how much everyone likes Bad Bunny and how great he's been that he is still being led through these matches. The Miz and Morrison led that match. Damian Priest led that second match. The Royal Rumble is highly, highly like called in the ring.
He is a Final Four finalist.
He is.
You can't take
what
that away.
is the worst Royal Rumble that I remember watching. He
Guess
is
what?
in
It
the
still
Final
counts.
Four. And I think it would
There
have
was
been
a
better if he
chance
won
in the
that
same
Rumble.
year
Yes,
he won Grammys and have a sellout tour, and he was going to headline WrestleMania,
which would have been better than what happened, to be honest with you. So you know what I mean?
Oh man,
would have been more interesting. Not
he
better.
Really does
more
whatever, like he said on SNL. I'm Bad Bunny. I do whatever I want. All right, two more.
He made Shrek 5. He predicted it.
Did he?
On SNL. Yeah, he did a clip with Do Not Destroy.
Oh, wow.
About making a new Shrek movie that he wrote, and then he threw it away because he didn't like it. And I just realized
maybe there's something
as we're talking,
to this.
Oh my God. Bad Bunny predicted
NBC
the Shrek
property?
movie. Watch the trailer. It sounds a little bit like what Shrek 4 was. Very out there. Anyway, continue.
It's hilarious. So Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, another fan favorite for this pod, another podcast favorite. He got questioned again.
Aaron Rodgers, right, Matt? Just podcaster.
He got questioned again. Mm-hmm. Dan Le Batard, he has a cool podcast. I like his stuff. Does it out of Florida. Dan Le Batard challenges Aaron Rodgers to a debate over Achilles recovery. Quote, he says, I want to debate you and I want to debate you on. Sorry, I'm gonna need glasses. I really do need glasses, man. Dan Le Batard said on his show, after his show went viral for questioning whether Aaron Rodgers truly tore his Achilles, that's a sentence in itself. He actually believed that wasn't real. He questioned if, the Achilles, where you clearly see on live TV, his Achilles roll up the back of his leg into his calf. He said, "Oh, that's gross. Not real. That's fake." Dan Le Batard wants to challenge Aaron Rodgers to a debate over his injury and his recovery. He says, quote, Aaron Rodgers, I think your doctors are fake. Debate me. I mean, come on. That's stupid. You really think he faked that? You think for all the hype everybody's gone through, how much the New York Jets themselves need Aaron Rodgers? I mean, look what's happening right now.
Yeah.
You really think he faked that?
No,
this is a prime example of somebody just talking out of their ass just to have attention.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could possibly come to the conclusion that you know what I mean? Like, I don't get how you can come to that conclusion. It'd be one thing if it happened like even midway through the season, I guess, but to play one set of downs,
not even. He just under even 4 plays, 4 plays.
You just no. There's nothing there. There's no way you can believe that genuinely. And listen, I don't know if I always love when Aaron Rodgers talks about science or what he calls science. Like, I get it. I get the frustration. But, I mean, the idea that he faked an Achilles injury is just can't be. That whether you like what he's saying or not about the recovery, and I guess if you want to debate recovery with him, you can. But I'll be honest, if he comes back healthy, then it was a good recovery. It doesn't really matter what he did. You know what I mean? So that's just also super silly to me. Like, I don't know. I get why people are mad at him because of the vaccine stuff, right? And in fairness, Aaron Rodgers has said stupid nonsense, not even about whether you believe him on vaccines, but like he's been, saying Fauci should debate him. Like, so like this calling people to debate thing, in fairness, is Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers does this too. So like, I'm not, he challenged Travis Kelce because Travis Kelce did a commercial. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so Aaron Rodgers is also doing like nonsensical debate challenges for no reason. So I guess in that regard, it's like, you know what? If you can give it, you should be able to take it, right? And so I'm actually okay with that. But the vaccine stuff, I won't say you can debate because I think the science is actually pretty clear. But there's been like a lot of confusion and there's a lot of nervous folks about the vaccines. There's always nervous folks about vaccines. Anti-vax is not new with COVID, right? But if he's recovering from an Achilles injury, as long as he's recovering, as long as his Achilles is getting better, what is there to debate?
Like, he thinks it's fake.
Well, that's
the point.
That's stupid. So if the debate is about are you hurt? Like, is that the debate? He wants to prove that Aaron Rodgers isn't actually hurt. Or is he going to be like, walk? You're going to steal his crutches and be like, walk to me. I know you can do
You
it.
liar.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, there's no way. Like, the debate is stupid because there's nothing to prove. If the debate is about how do you recover from an Achilles injury, the answer is however makes you good to walk again. And if the debate is did Aaron Rodgers hurt his Achilles, I think just a doctor saying yes, or even Aaron Rodgers being like, yeah, I had
was in surgery.
Yeah, like there's no debate to be had. This is like just because two people are willing to yell at each other doesn't mean it's a debate. A debate means there's something that there's something,
some substance,
right? There has to be something of like question. Like there has to be something that somebody is questioning that's based in reality, which you're not really hurt isn't based in reality. I mean,
yeah. Well, another person to have Aaron Rodgers want to prove wrong.
I mean, listen, I get it. I do get because of how annoying Rodgers is on a lot of his podcast appearances. I do understand. What?
I said his words, not mine.
Yeah, my words. That's fine. I have absolutely no problem saying that. I'm a Jets fan. I hope he comes back tomorrow, and I hope he wins a Super Bowl as a Jet. I've got no problem with Aaron Rodgers, football player. I also don't care if Aaron Rodgers wants to, push ivermectin and all that other stuff, because if you're a person who listens to Aaron Rodgers or Joe Rogan instead of your doctor, it is what it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. We have doctors. If you don't go to them, that's you. That's a you problem. But like, I get the appeal of trying to get Aaron Rodgers on because one, he'll do a big number. Like he will do ratings. That's just true. Mm-hmm. And two, he's a little annoying. So if you get to yell at him for like an hour, that'll be great.
And right? Another thing that is, I think I should add this too. So the thing that they, and correct me if I'm wrong, people, but so they're adding a bridge, something known as a speed bridge in his on his Achilles. That's supposed to help heal the process faster. And like that was a similar surgery as Cam Akers, who, even though he ironically tore his other's Achilles just this past week for the Vikings, but he was the one who made a 6-month recovery after tearing his Achilles in training camp and played in the Super Bowl. But that's the thing he doesn't think is valid, is the speed bridge part. But how would you know? He still hasn't, come back yet. So
yeah, if he gets back on the field, whenever he gets back on the field, he'll get him back on the field eventually. When he gets back on the field, his Achilles is recovered.
Yes.
And so any
you might have a ticking time bomb to win, but it is recovered.
But like whatever. I'll be honest, everyone who plays in the NFL is basically a ticking time bomb of injury. True. Your body will stop letting you play football eventually.
It has, yeah.
Like you can't do there's things you can do forever, essentially. Professional football is not one of them.
Except Sting. He could wrestle forever.
I would argue he can't, but
or Ric Flair wants to.
I would argue he really can't. I saw that last match. No, I don't. Yeah, the idea that he's the quack science thing. I get wanting to tag him for it, but this is not it. What you need to do is next time he goes after a football player for having a shot, right, or for like doing a commercial about vaccines, that's when you slam him. That's when you invite him on your show and be like, you're pushing quack science because you don't know what you're talking about. Come on my show and explain to me why I'm wrong. Do that. I would do that. He would never listen, but I would do that. If Aaron Rodgers, if we had done an episode right after the Mr. Pfizer thing, I would have been like, Aaron Rodgers should come on this show and explain to me why I'm wrong. Because I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm definitely right. I'm a regular person. I can
just your wife is.
Yeah, but she's not that kind of doctor either. She's a toxicologist, so she knows a little. She knows a lot about it actually because she has worked on COVID stuff. But that's not like her main thing. But like, I'm a regular person, so you could convince me. My doctors have told me what I believe them. So tell me why I shouldn't believe my doctors, right? Like I would say that. And this, obviously, he would never come on the show, but or at least not at the moment. Not yet. Yeah, not at the moment. Let's clarify.
Well, someday.
But this other guy has a real platform, so wait and do it then. But doing it over the Achilles stuff is not it. It's not it.
It's funny with Rodgers, right? So I watch. He goes on a pad every week. Still doesn't really say. I mean, he goes out for an hour, but like it's not a little Not any like breaking news or anything that comes out of it. Just his reactions as we've seen to stuff. But he didn't mention Dan Le Batard this week, so he must not care. So must not care. So the
Must
final
not care. Yeah.
story. It's my cat Larry to
Hey,
sit
Larry.
down. So the final story to discuss today is a story that is was very last minute. Something I saw this morning. Instagram user and content creator Anna Stanskowski shared a video of herself getting the name of Kevin written on her forehead with the help of a tattoo artist. Kevin is her boyfriend. She got her boyfriend's name tattooed on her forehead. What do I say often on this show? When we see stuff like this, anything is possible to become a big deal. I'd like to think our viral moment will come as a result of this content, and then we add on to it from the big audience there. But when you
just to be
have something
safe,
like
I
this,
will be tattooing Kevin on my forehead live next week on the TweetCap. So tune in for that.
He said it right here first. But for this woman, who I don't know the situation, but you have, I guess she knows she's going to be a content creator for life, but you have Kevin on your forehead for life. What?
There's
Like,
two ways I could go about this. There's two
what?
ways I could go about this.
Think
I'm
about
not
this. Going when you get your driver's license, Kevin's
Yep.
going to be there. I assume maybe you're getting married. Maybe you're crazy enough not to. You'll have your wedding photos with Kevin on. You know, you are going to age eventually.
Yeah, saggy Kevin.
Saggy Kevin. I
Saggy
mean,
Kevin.
like, for all the things to get attention, this is what you do.
This is one of them.
I'm sure. And watch there be like, oh, look at me washing this off. You actually thought I'd do that? But like, why, Ryan? Why are people in this world like this for viral moments?
Fame. They want people to know about them. They want people to
I
know who
mean,
they are.
I don't think 15 minutes of fame is worth defiling you for life.
Well, she disagrees. 15 minutes is more than some people get in their entire lifetime. And there's some people who are so desperate for it, they'll do just about anything. Yeah, my guess is it's probably not a real tattoo. um, but I don't know. Maybe it is. Even if she's gonna marry this guy, this is weird. I'll put that out there. Like, I
Anyone
know a
who
lot of
gets
people are like,
I'm just saying,
yeah, go ahead.
anybody who gets a tattoo of their significant other, no matter where it is, that's a
Yeah.
huge risk.
Well, yeah. So a lot of people are talking about the risk aspect of what if you break up? What if you don't get married? What if they get married and live, together for 60 years, happily married? It's still weird that you have your husband's name on your head. It will never not be weird. Like, if it's on your elbow, not your elbow, but like you're, up here, all right, like fine. No one can see it most of the time. You're married, like, yeah, sure, it's a risk. You could end up getting a divorce or whatever, but I'm not even talking about that. That's like a separate thing, and that's fine. I actually agree with you. Of course, it's risky to have a person's name on your body because, what if you don't like that person at some point? But even if you love that person for the rest of your life, you have their name just right there on your forehead in like big purple letters too. I don't know if you saw it or not. It's
a purple tattoo. It's
yeah,
like
like
what?
that. Even if your life goes perfectly well with this person, it's still just really weird, and it's gonna be really weird for him. Like, imagine, you wake up in the morning, you kiss your girlfriend good morning, right? And your name is just sitting on her forehead. That's so weird. That's just such a weird thing to have happen to you in your life. So I hope for everyone's sake that it's not a real tattoo. I hope that in a few weeks of doing content with the tattoo on, because of course that she will. She'll have like a big secret reveal where she wipes it off and be like, haha, I tricked you all, and we can all forget about her 15 minutes being done. But if this is real, like, God, such a bad call, such a bad idea. And it just goes to, 15 minutes, like you said, not a long time. 15 minutes is not a long time. Tattoos last a lot longer than 15 minutes.
It's your world, and we're just living in it. Damn. Well, I don't have any questions today, so we'll bring that back next week. But we thank you, Ryan, for awesome tweet cap. It's nice
Thanks,
to
Matt.
every once in a while have some all positive stories. And
Yes.
let's bring that momentum into the weekend and let's have a good week ahead. So thank you so much, Ryan, and we'll see you really soon.
Thanks, Matt.